welcome to the Must Love Yarncast.
Here we are.
Here we are. It's Sunday, which has become our new normal
day.
Recording day.
It's actually pretty helpful. It's convenient.
It is. I've been finding it way more convenient than Monday after work, and I feel like I'm
trying to juggle
less
work.
tired.
Yeah, right.
Less tired.
Right. Forces me to take a shower on Sunday.
Just
kidding.
No, true story. Yes, it does. I did briefly think this morning, can I get by? And I was like, nope, you have to go to baseball later this afternoon. You cannot look like a scrubby, gross, because like short hair, it gets like real greasy real fast, and it's harder to like hide it. You can't just pull it back into a ponytail.
Baseball hat, that's what it's for.
That's true.
Why else would you wear one?
I don't wear baseball hats that well.
Oh, I wear them. Well, I wear it every morning when I'm walking generally until I switch to a wool hat. So I guess for me, I'm just used to it. And that is my default Saturday, go to the dump.
Yeah, that's true.
Go to the dump.
So anyway, so you didn't come here to listen to us talk about
we do own a yarn store.
And baseball hats.
But that's kind of how things work sometimes.
How we roll here. So yes, we are yarn casting at our yarn shop in Shelburne, Vermont, where you're going to be able to buy lots of the things that we're talking about today, different yarns.
We have lots of yarns to talk about.
So many new yarns coming in for fall. It's very exciting. And you can find the store out on social media as Must Love Yarn. Any place, like any platform. I say that, but like I don't think we're on Threads or some of these other like newer ones.
We should figure that out because I am a new addict.
Okay.
For Threads.
So Instagram, Facebook, Ravelry. You can follow the store, and we should figure that out. But just
I'm guessing it's probably not terribly difficult. I know, right?
Probably
I'm sure it's just like hit this button.
Maybe we'll see. And I'm Angela.
I'm Jen.
And you can find me on social media, Instagram and Ravelry as Junior Bird Kid.
Let's see. So I only have two. It's not like it's that hard. But on Ravelry, I am J Arbuckle. And on Instagram, it's Jennifer_Arbuckle.
Nice.
Because I am the world's most original person for these little handle names.
I was trying to
I can remember them generally.
So I was trying to go incognito for a really long time, which is why I'm the Junior Bird Kid. But I'm too committed to it. So there we are.
You're connected into it. Right?
Connected into it.
It's part of your persona now.
Exactly. So with, the usual caveat, those 2 pages are personal pages. So you are going to see other stuff there. If you just want yarn and knitting, crochet content, the store is the one to follow.
Yeah.
I don't want people to be surprised.
Right. You'll see yarn content in both, and sometimes you see one thing that's meant for the other thing. Oh, yeah. In my experience.
I'm terrible posting on the store again for that reason. Yikes. So anyway, we like to start our yarn cast with our yarn cast pick. And so the way this works is we're going to show you this great new fall yarn that's come in new to us. I don't know that it's new out.
I don't either.
I don't know the answer to that.
If you need to know, Ariana can tell you.
And really isn't that important. So anyway, new to us for fall, this great worsted weight yarn by Jody Long. It is a wool acrylic blend, and it does self-striping. So we've been seeing a lot of these. We showed one last week with the pinwheel. This is sort of more of that same kind of...
It's a little bit more like the barber pole because the colors are blended together a little bit more on the transitions. We have, I don't even know how many colors. We have a whole shelf full of it over there.
So many colors. So this is a worsted. It's 197 yards for 100 grams. So it's a little on the heavier side of a worsted, but you could definitely knit it at a worsted tension. Recommended needle size is 10.5, so that's almost like bulky, really.
Except for that, the yardage doesn't support that, but it is kind of fluffy, so I think it probably will fluff up a little bit when you're knitting with it.
But we have so many
like
colors.
10 different colors, I want to say.
So many different colors. Lots of really good neutrals.
Yeah, like even this is a neutral, I think, to some degree. Oops.
We've got this like really lovely, this is like browns and grays.
Really nice red. I love the red actually.
Yeah, the red's
really
gorgeous. Purple, like navy blue type, and this like rainbowy one.
Like a muted kind of rainbow though. Perfect. That's actually a really beautiful set of colors.
Yeah, these retail we're selling them for $16.99 a skein. So pretty decent price point on it. You could knit a hat with this. You could knit some fingerless mitts with this.
You could knit any one of these things because there is pattern support.
Pattern support, which is always
so
great.
This really pretty lace sweater.
So that's
you can actually see,
and
you can see how the striping will work. They're really long repeats because that's a sweater, obviously, so they're pretty deep. And then I like that fall sweater. Isn't that fun? I think it's
this color.
Yeah, it's that one. Yeah, I think. Or maybe it's two striped. I don't even know because there's a lot of orange in there. Yeah. It has such nice detail on the sleeve.
Could be these two together.
Yeah, it has I like the sleeve detail.
Does the pattern tell you which color it is?
Probably inside here it says.
I have Fiesta and Zesty.
It's Zesty, just Zesty.
So it's just this one.
Yep.
Isn't that interesting?
The orange. Oh, there's some orange in there. It's inside.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
It's funny how much more orange it looks here.
Right? I totally would have thought that these two were together. Anyway, what do I know?
Well,
what do I know?
We're all learning together.
That's right.
And then there's one more sweater. This is a really nice cardigan.
It's got to be this one.
Yes.
This is the flame colorway.
And then the back. I like the detail on the back.
That's a nice little like cable.
Yeah, it has this nice cable on the front, on the edges.
It's a nice sweater.
Yeah, and then it is really sweet. And then there's a collection of accessory patterns, which are just fun, different scarves.
This one.
Yeah.
And there's my Fiesta up there in the corner.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So these are also available with the yarn. So. Okay.
So I don't think we explained how this works. So for 2 weeks, with the coupon code we're going to give you, you can get 10% off online and in store for any of our in stock colors of this. So I'm gonna make the coupon code YP Jody because I feel like maybe we've used color or color spun before.
We could try and spell it the way they do with a U in it, but that would be confusing.
That's gonna throw everybody off. So YP Jody is the coupon code.
This green is really nice.
I really like that green.
It's got a little hint of copper luster.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one's called Garden, in case you're interested.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So again, $16.99, really nice acrylic wool.
53% wool, 47
acrylic.
47% acrylic.
Yep.
It feels very woolly though. It's interesting.
Yeah, but not like scratchy woolly. Like
yeah, it's really soft.
Kind of nice. Yeah. Soft.
Yeah.
It looks like machine washable. Don't put it in the dryer.
Yeah.
Is what I'm seeing on the card there. If I'm reading those symbols correctly.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
So check that out. Those are fun.
So we have 4 or 5 new yarns, and we only brought 2 over here to show today.
Yeah.
But I'm also gonna get a newsletter out, and I've been taking pictures like mad. So I'm gonna highlight all the new yarns in the newsletter.
Awesome.
So if you're not signed up, you should. Those of you who are signed up are very aware that this is not in your mailbox every day.
No.
kind of organization. We are lucky if it gets there once a month kind of organization. So and it's random. It's not like every Monday at whatever time you're going to get it. It's like whenever I get around to writing it, I just post it immediately. So that's the way it works.
So I think what I'm going to do is when we know we have extended periods between podcasts, I'm just going to push the coupon code out to match.
Yeah.
So you actually get 3 weeks on this one because we know we're not going to be able to yarn cast for 3 weeks. So it'll run through the 11th of October, so September 20th through October 11th, and then we will have a new podcast yarncast that's posting on the 11th, so then there'll be a new yarn available. So
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do that.
Yeah, and obviously that works online for everyone. Every one of you is shopping online.
Yep.
But if you're shopping in store and
works
you're
in
local,
store, too.
yeah, just make sure you bring the code with you and tell
Yeah.
them at the counter, because they won't do it automatically unless you tell
Nope.
them.
Exactly.
It's one of those top secret little code things.
Right, and they can put that code in as they're
it
checking
will
you out, and it will automatically add it in the time frame that is set out for the code for the online folks. So so let's do that.
Yeah.
Extend that out just a little bit.
So the other one we were going to show this morning is this really beautiful mohair blend.
Yeah.
We've been looking for a heavier one than just the lace weight, and so this is technically a worsted weight. It is kind of a DK weight in terms of yardage, but it is fluffy, so
Super
it
fluffy.
fluffs up.
Yeah.
So this is from Ella Ray. It's called Tufty, Tufty, and it is 60% mohair, 40% microfiber. Microfiber is obviously just the thread that holds the mohair together.
Right.
It is really lovely, so soft.
Really nice.
It has a really nice sheen to it, even though there's no silk in there. It's really beautiful, and we have 15 colors and lots of. I think we have the whole color line probably. So it's 164 yards and 50 grams, and it's it says needle size 7 to 9, so that's why it's a worsted weight technically, I think, because it fluffs up. But really a lovely yarn, and for all those sort of this mohair pattern calls for I'm gonna have to hold something double, or I'm gonna have to do whatever. Now you do not.
Right, and so this
will work.
retails for $12.99. So it's got a really pretty decent price point on it.
For that tessellated vest that you're working on, that one calls for a sport weight or DK weight
I
mohair.
think you could use
I think
this.
you would use this. I would definitely use this.
Yeah, I'm retooling my choices, and I might pull some skeins of that to use.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful palette. I love all those colors.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah. So check it out if you're interested. No discount on this one, but
just
maybe
more.
later this fall. You never know.
Exactly.
We only do one at a time, so
Exactly.
but lots of beautiful things to knit. And as you're starting to think about Christmas knitting, this makes a very luxurious feeling.
Yeah. I mean, there are, mitts patterns, or like for color work and a hat, or a nice cowl.
Or if you wanted to hold it with like a fingering weight or a DK weight, you would get kind of a bulky weight. Weight.
Yeah.
Total combined weight. So
there's some nice
there's some great sweaters,
cardigans that are in that more bulky weight.
Yeah, you could do something. It would be very lightweight and floaty, but really warm and lovely.
Yeah.
So lots of things to think about.
Yeah.
I mean, who can resist this color?
No,
it's like my favorite color of all time.
Really
Beautiful.
Nice. Super nice. So, Jen, what are you wearing?
I'm wearing my Golden Gate.
It's Garden
Never
Gate.
quite remember. I should know, but it's Garden Gate by Jen Steingass, and it is knit in. I'm looking it up because, of course, it was not that organized. But the main color is Wool and Co. Not Wool and Co. Olive, wool for olive. Sorry, hold on one second. I'll be right there. Oh my goodness. If I could get to, where is it?
I know.
There it is.
Being weird.
Yeah. It is Knitting for Olive. Why can I never remember the name of that yarn? I don't know. Cotton Merino. And then the accent color is a Fuse Fiber Studio. They're not in business anymore, but they're multicolored sock. So it's
Awesome.
Some people may remember that this is a sweater that I knit, and then I found an extra skein of yarn, so I made it longer because it was too short. It was fine, but it was too short. So anyway, now I wear it a lot, actually.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's amazing how sometimes just that one little tweak will
It's much more length.
make all the difference.
It doesn't sit right at my waist anymore, which is
right.
And it's loose and drapey, which I like. So I knit it kind of a loose gauge on purpose, which is a little tricky with color work sometimes, and some of the color work does disappear a little bit. Also, some of the it just depends on where you are when you're using multicolored skein. So some of the little dots down below here you don't see as well because they're really light colors.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Yeah. And you.
Guys, I finished Birdwatcher.
So exciting.
Look at how pretty it is.
It's
all the
beautiful.
way down
Yeah.
with the fun little, and it's all blocked and everything.
Yeah, and the color.
I love
nice.
the color.
Yeah.
So this is it's a Lolo bean.
Did you alternate skeins or no?
No.
Wow. Perfect.
Well, okay, so for like a little bit,
Mm.
like maybe like right.
Oh,
through
when you
here.
joined it, or yeah.
Yeah, I alternated skeins for a bit,
Mm-hmm.
and but no, I think
It's really uniform.
it is very uniform. I think that's a testament to the yarn dyer.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's Lola Bean. It was part of a special box collaboration that she did with Birdie Parker Designs. So it came with some earrings and the yarn. It was one of those that I forgot that I had ordered it, and so the box showed up, and I was like, "Huh, what's in here?" And I opened up, and I was like, "Ooh, look at that pretty purple yarn." That's like story of my life, really.
Right.
Which is why pre-orders are amazing, because you forget, and then it's like Christmas in your mailbox. So this is also FO. It was I think it just maybe divided for the sleeves when we were here last. I was doing short rows
You had
or
just
something.
come back from vacation, so
Yeah, I was doing short rows, and they were like in a weird spot in the back, and it was hard to hold it up because it was all anyway. So finished.
yeah. Awesome.
Very excited.
Yeah.
But another
It's a nice detail on the top here. She does a nice job with
it's
a
like
nice
just
job
a
with her
little
patterns.
so you don't actually pick up around the neckline, so you seam here, but this part's all already done.
Mm-hmm.
So you do a little finishing work around the sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So when you're done kind of thing.
It's my favorite thing about tank tops or vests or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I was thinking about vests again the other day, and then it got warm again, thank God. And I thought to myself, maybe just get the things you've got going.
Right.
Maybe
Totally.
do that first.
It's really easy to get distracted. Super easy to get distracted.
Is, unfortunately.
All right, so I'm going to move that up into the FOs because it is done.
Mm-hmm.
I have one more FO.
I got nothing.
Okay. So I hadn't even started this one last time. So if you guys remember, I did those large peds while I was away, and I had leftover sock yarn, and the cakes were already split. So I said, I'm gonna make some fingerless mitts so I can continue to use like as much yarn as possible. And I stumbled across this pattern. I should probably go look up what it is. Look, it's terrible. Look at me. Not even where I need to be. This is, but I already keyed it. Anyway, we're just, bear with me.
The fun of completing a project is that it disappears behind the whips.
Right.
And the whips are at the top, which is fine unless you have a lot of whips, which no one out there understands, I'm quite sure. But
So this pattern is called November Mitts Marled. And it is by Jen Ward. Or Jen Yard. Sorry, I can't even read. Oh my gosh, we're just a mess. So it's meant for like self-striping sock yarn, which you hold double with a solid of some sort. And so it creates kind of this marly look to your fabric. And I thought, well, how's that? That's super cool, because then it's not matchy to the socks, but it's still using yarn, and you get to
beautiful.
See the.
And then it's just a really simple pattern, right?
Simple
pattern.
But
it looks
it's
really
like,
complex because of the yarn.
It's a 3x1 rib.
Yeah.
This is just where the stripe pattern hit in the yarn. That's actually, I didn't add a different color for the cuffs. Just as that was the color.
Look how well orchestrated they are, though.
Yeah.
I guess because you were already in cakes.
Because they were already in cakes.
Yeah.
Matching cakes. But if you're, if you're looking to use up extra for sock that you used for socks, what a great
striping or not. Yeah.
Striping or not.
Yeah.
Super, super fun. I was motivated to be working on these last weekend when it was really cold, and now it's too hot for them. But really fast.
It is, except for like a couple mornings this week, I wore
Yeah.
my puffy jacket. It was
Yeah.
in the 40s twice. And so I was like, should I find my fingerless mitts and wear
Right.
them? And I didn't quite because I just wore my sleeves long, but I'm close to that point.
Right. So this is a really fast project. It
Great
uses
gift. Yeah.
great gift. It uses up those extra bits. I added Barocco ultra wool sock because I have a bunch of skeins of that and just solids.
Leftover. Yeah.
So this is like a cream colored that I added in. And I like the pattern so much, I immediately cast on another pair with the leftovers. If you guys remember this yarn from Woolens and Nosh, with a gray. So I'm trying it with a different solid color, and that's what I've gotten so far. So it just mutes down that color
kind of
just
pixelated.
a little bit. Oh yeah, I think these are going to be really awesome. I'd be like, I want to keep these, but so I kind of am excited to get into these darker colors just to see.
And when you finish the second pair, if you don't get the tessellated vest on, you're good because you can.
Right. Just be like, here, have some mitts that you can't wear at basketball games because it's too hot. So check it out if you've been making large peds and you now have this extra yarn, or shorty socks, and you're like, what do I do? Or you just have self striping that you're like, I can only knit so many pairs of socks. Like, give this pattern a try.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. It fits well. It comes in multiple sizes, like extra small to like extra large. I knit the medium. I don't have super huge hands.
Yeah.
But it's super stretchy anyway, so it probably could fit a bunch of
Yeah.
different
In fact, when I
sizes.
held them up, I was like, and they're thick, so they're warm. Yeah.
You want to try that? You have slightly bigger hands than I do, and that's the medium.
Yeah.
So
it fits perfectly.
Fits Jen.
Yeah.
So both Jen and I can wear the medium comfortably.
Yeah, and it's funny how it feels thick and well, not heavy, but solid.
They're solid.
But when you put them on, they don't.
Right, because that's a problem. Sometimes, like, you're like, oh, this is going to be too stiff, and I'm not going to be able to
manipulate.
No, those are awesome. It's a really nice pattern.
Yeah.
So check it out. That's available on Ravelry.
Great
I will, if you go to my project page, which I will link in the FOs, you can find it. It'll be in the FOs and the WIPs section.
Well, plus, basically, you're knitting at a worsted weight, right?
So interestingly enough, the pattern calls for US 3s. I knit that on a US 3. It works.
Wow, 2 fingerings in it.
Yeah, it worked.
Compression gloves, but they're not.
Like, that's the thing. I was like, this needle feels really small, but I know.
Sorcery. Interesting. It's knitting magic.
And it and look, it doesn't. I did this last night. I cast this on last night. This is how much I did in like a couple of hours, maybe.
Yeah, no,
hour,
knits are super fast, which is awesome.
So fast.
Yeah.
Even on 3s.
Yeah.
With the yarn held double.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Super fast project.
And gratifying. I like making mitts. I have made several in the last couple of years, and they're like the perfect little thing. And then I was like, okay, how many of these do I need?
Right.
To start making them for other people.
Yeah, well, they're good gifts too.
Yeah.
Because one, they're quick, and you can
people
use them.
love them.
Yeah, they're really handy. So anyway, check out that pattern. I've been enjoying it. Let's see. What? Oh.
So we're into WIPs.
So we're into WIPs now. Yeah. That was it for FOs for me. Sweater and mitts.
I have 3, sort
of. Why don't you go? Because I have 2
more.
Well,
speaking of large pads, I'm going to show the progress that is not the progress, because why not? So I was gung-ho when I put my sweater down because I felt like doing something else, and so I was knitting along. So I guess there is more than there was last time, but there was even more than this. So I did I had the contrast color, and then I added the main color, and I was doing my thing, and I kept thinking, this doesn't look right. There's all these short rows that you're doing, which is a little disconcerting, but and the hard thing of doing short rows is that I was very careful, and I was marking on my little pattern when I had done each one, so because I put it down for a little while, but when you come back, like, somehow you're never 100% sure. sure where you are in the middle of
Right.
short rows.
Right.
And these are hard to see for some reason.
Probably the color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had like the whole opposite side of this done, and I thought that it was wrong, so I took it all back out, and I'm pretty sure it might have been right. I just couldn't understand how it was going to join together, and when I read the pattern, I took it out because I thought it was wrong. And then when I started it up again, I was like, no, I think that was right. So anyway, these went in timeout because I was cranky about that, needless to say.
Yes.
But so it's
Absolutely.
not, the pattern is well written, don't get me wrong, it's not the pattern, it's just, I might have been tired, I don't know. It was a little, I haven't quite gotten my head around the mechanics of the sock or how it was going to work.
Any mistakes I have made knitting those is 100% because I was not reading carefully.
Yeah, and then there's like A, B, and C needles, which is a little confusing trying to remember. And I didn't put this, anyway, it's just a little confusing about how they get joined together. And then after that, I'm sure it's easy peasy. But
yes.
Because I didn't choose to have 3 different needles hanging off of my work.
Yeah.
Because I find that annoying to knit with. So now the worst part is I have to go back and figure out where the markers need to go to redo the part that I took out. But I'm just going to extrapolate that and go from there. I'm sure it'll be fine. Now I have a pretty good idea of what it is meant to look like. So hopefully we'll... but I haven't had the brain space and or it needs to be one of those like I need an hour in the morning when I'm awake and alert.
Right.
And
and it's finding that
it should not be after work at 9 o'clock at night when I'm tired.
Bag flopping over there, just turn the lights
Yeah,
back on.
I don't know. I waved my arm around, jumped, sort of tried to. Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? So I think we both have sweaters on the needles.
Yes.
Yeah. How's halibut coming?
It's I made up quite a bit of progress actually. When I think I was like an inch below. So it's just all stockinette all the time now. I think I was like, I don't know, an inch below the armholes maybe. So you can see it's just stockinette. But I'm within, I know. It's pretty yarn, so it does make it go. And I have had several nights of, needing something mindless to work on. So it's really good for that after work kind of knitting. But it's I haven't really tried it on yet, and I probably should, but because it's not like the pattern is really deep, and so the armholes are I think it's loose, you know what I mean? So, and this is longer because I keep thinking, my God, if I've got but you only knit 8 inches before you do the ribbing, and so from the pattern down it's only 11 inches, but I think this is low, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and it's not blocked at all. Once I blow, it's going to stretch out a little bit.
bit.
So I'm not worried about it fitting. I'm pretty sure it will fit fine. I keep thinking though, oh my goodness, because the pattern is here, I have to knit all this stuff, but really it's not quite as far. So it's getting there. I just have to, this will probably come with me today because I'll be in the car riding and it will be easy.
That's a good project for...
Even though it takes up a whole bag because of the cone of yarn, it's fine. It's easy to have it in the foot down by my feet and just knit around and around and around while I'm talking. So.
Exactly. So when it cooled off a little bit, I busted 3 Seasons cardigan back out. So we have a sleeve.
Nice.
We have a sleeve.
Awesome.
Which is really exciting. The sleeve is, I knit it to like 3/4.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
It looks longer.
It is not. The pattern calls for it to
Did you try it on?
I did try it on. Down past the wrist. And I knit 3/4 for 2 reasons. One, that's all the yarn I had. So apparently my gauge is off or something. Shocking. Because this was all that like one skein of yarn could do. And I have 1 full skein for the sleeve and 1 full skein for the other sleeve. So
is there any other? You've done the neck and
everything else is done.
Okay.
Yep. I might have made the body a little bit longer, which is maybe where my missing yarn went. But I do prefer 3/4 sleeves.
I like to. I push my sleeves up all
sweaters.
the time.
Yeah, I push them up all the time, and so if this is a true 3 seasons, like
It'll be fine.
it'll be fine.
Be pretty. And it's beautiful. So
thank you.
it's funny. It doesn't look longer, but because of the drop shoulder, it looks like it will be.
It's not because
Yeah.
this pulls.
Yeah.
This drop shoulder actually hits up closer to here.
Yeah, right on the edge.
And I have, I started the second sleeve.
And not that you want to be thinking about it, but there's a little bit of yarn chicken, right? I guess you know exactly.
No, I know because I have a whole skein for this sleeve.
One skein.
I had 1 skein for each sleeve.
Okay.
So I just knit down till.
And did you have anything left at the end of the skein? Or
I mean,
was
it's tucked in.
Oh, okay. So you have.
Like
so
that
you
much.
know that 1 skein is enough to do whatever you want to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that worked out well because it's kind of hard to gauge, like, where do you stop the pattern and then how much do you need to finish the cuff? And
well, I kind of.
And now you're like, I could have done 1 more row of whatever.
I could have done 2 or 3 more rows
Mm-hmm.
of the pattern. Because the cuff, I was just like, well, I'll just knit it till I run out.
Yeah.
But I'm not inclined to like rip it back to fix that.
No.
And when I tried it on, it hit me
where you want it
fine. It's
Yeah.
like right. It's like in here.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Which means the ribbing is below your elbow, which you because you don't want that.
The ribbing's below the elbow. I put this down. This cabling is fun and I enjoy it, but I really have to pay attention. And there's a lot more brain power that goes into doing the cabling.
And the yarn's a little dark, so it's
you
have to focus on it.
Yeah, this last week was. I had a lot of things going on, and so I was pretty tired in the evenings, which is why we've been working on mitts and other stuff.
Temperature blankets, right?
Yeah.
Just knit a square.
Yeah, and now it's like hot, so this kind of got set aside. But anyway, I just have this sleeve to finish. This will probably end up being my Rhinebeck sweater because that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I've got some other things to work on.
Mm-hmm.
I
did not work on my sea-glass cardigan at all. I was like, my original plan was like, split the time between the 2 sweaters, and I was like, let's finish a sweater.
Yeah.
That's what I decided, so.
I know how long it takes to knit this
You'll be fine.
sleeve.
Yeah.
I'm fine. What I should do is knock this out so it's done, but I won't do that because that's how I roll. It'll be October, and I'll be
first weekend of October.
freaking
She'll
out.
be like, oh no,
I have to pick that back up.
But you did all this in less than 2 weeks, right? With other things. So, I think by October 1st,
this
you have to pick it back up again by October 1st.
was like maybe 3 nights of knitting.
Yeah.
Maybe 4.
Give yourself a week.
Yeah, I think a week is definitely, I can finish that in a week. So that's fine. It's on bigger needles. That goes pretty quick.
No, but now you've done one, so you know how long it takes.
Second
so you
sleeve
can
is
sort
faster. Right? Remember? The first ones, you're figuring it out.
Watch the outtakes, people.
Second.
Angie's theories of knitting.
Second item is faster. Applies to sleeves, too. Ask me how neither of my sleeves ever match in length. Because
they will because of the cabling here, and then you can count the sleeve. Yeah.
They might. They still won't. I can guarantee. Anyway, whatever. It's fine. It's all fine. Fine. So that's coming. 3 seasons. Look, I can put it back on the whips.
Yeah.
Because it whipses.
The only other whip I have actually is I did start my temperature square because of mindless knitting once again. So this we're just a few weeks in, and it has been an interesting set of temperatures. There's a blue stripe in there, people.
Yeah.
There was a 40-something degree morning in there.
So
now I'm like alternating, like the mornings are cold, blue, green, whatever. The afternoons are warm, orange, yellow. I did say I was doing the extreme, so I feel like it's good to have total representation of the temperatures. So I'm a few days behind on this, but we're coming along. So it's interesting. We'll see. I'm getting to the point now where after this, there's only 3 left to do. So the colors that will be left over, and what I'm using more and more of. So I'll be curious to see. We have had some warm weather this past week, so there'll be a bit more yellow and orange in there. And then this week's supposed to be nice too, I think.
Okay,
so.
Cool.
Anyway, it's interesting. I was like, oh, am I going to break out the blue? Yep. September. That's where it's at.
In fact, it was so chilly those mornings. I went to go fire up the furnace in my office because I will, when we have those first few nights, to make sure that it's working and
Right.
I don't need to make a service call. But it was really good that I did because apparently the sump pump had failed in my basement and I didn't know it. So now everything's taken out down there. So sump pump's been repaired. Everything, fans are set up to dry everything out. There's probably a good 6 inches of water in the basement.
Old
furnace.
water?
I think it's groundwater. I don't know where the water comes from.
Mm.
There's like a, little...
Did it ruin the furnace or was it out?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
How old was the furnace?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. The furnace is like...
Well,
and really that's the only thing down there. Everything else
Yeah.
has been moved out of that basement because it's just so unreliable.
Yeah.
I don't store files down there. I don't nothing. Literally the only thing down there is like the electrical panel and the furnace.
electrical panel's up high.
Oh yeah, it's up high. That was fine.
Yeah.
But the furnace is like
Kaput.
because I don't know when I don't know when the sump pump failed.
Right.
It didn't have an alarm on it.
Yeah.
It's gonna have an alarm on it now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's funny because I can hear mine in my house when it's going. So if it's raining, part of my brain is just listening for it to kick on. And I have a new one this summer anyways as well. But
I usually don't hear ours kick on.
Yeah. Well, because you're busy doing other stuff.
Yeah.
And it happens to be right under where I walk around a lot in the house.
Yeah.
So it's where I know where it is.
So anyway, that was fun.
I
so
think mine has an alarm now too also. Apparently.
I got to deal with that this
also
week.
Money.
Well, I rent where my office is. So
that worked out.
Yes, it did. So somebody else is dealing with that part. But
that's good.
Yeah, I was like, really? The furnace has been kind of duct taped together the last few years, and fuel company's been coming out and just getting it running because it'll error codes or something, and they'll send the old guy out, the old guy who has tons of experience and just knows how to patch these things together.
That's the guy who comes to my house also.
From Jackman's.
Yes.
Nice
guy.
He is. He's great.
He's so calm. He's just.
He's clearly seen everything.
Yeah.
But he can get it working, and that's what we've done the last.
Every now and then they send the young people over,
and they can't figure it out.
I gotta call. What's his name?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
And he's like on the phone, and then they're like, "Okay, done."
They tried the young guys last year, and then I had to call them again, and then they sent in the big guns, who got the furnace.
If that guy ever
working.
retires, I don't know what's going to happen.
Know.
There'll be households all over the county that will be.
Yeah. So if the furnace worked fine all last winter with whatever, he's like, well, if this doesn't work, then we're gonna have to do X, Y, and Z, and whatever he did was fine. So now.
Have a brand new furnace. Nothing to worry about this year. That'll be nice.
Great. Assuming we can get one in.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I thought it had all been replaced already.
No. Jackman's can't come out till the end of September to even just look at it to assess the situation.
Oh.
I could tell them it's crapped. It's not.
Oh, they haven't ordered it yet?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I thought. Oh, okay.
Anyway, it's.
Yeah, that's another. We'll talk about
that's a whole other. Anyway.
They need to get it ordered. Yeah.
That's not my call to make. If it was my call, yes, it would already be ordered. So
they take a little while.
Yeah, I can tell just looking at it. It's kaput, and I'm not a furnace person, so.
Well, given your history, yeah.
Yeah.
That yarn looks familiar.
Yes, I started another hat. A Musselburgh. It's all scrunchied on needles, so it doesn't. It looks like it's really tiny. It won't fit anybody, but it will. So this is Woolens and Nosh because I've been trying to use up the 1,100,000 skeins of Woolens and Nosh that I have. Because why am I holding on to this? So this colorway is called This Is the Way. So it's a Star Wars kind of reference. And I...
James Earl Jones.
Yes.
Shout out to James Earl Jones.
Oh, so sad.
Yeah.
So sad.
Well, he had a good long life.
He did.
Still sad though.
I did all of my increases and now I'm just in the miles and miles of stockinette. So this is going to be the new on the go project.
Is it going to be the same all the way through?
So here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to knit it down to where the brim will be. And then for the brim on both sides, I'm going to switch over to like a mini skein that I have. So I think it's like a gray. So it's roughly like this gray color that's in there. So I'll knit the brim in that, and then I'll go back. So it'll be reversible of the same colors, but the brim on both sides will be this gray color. That's my current plan. I may subject to change. Okay. And also I can never...
That's what that yarn tail is for.
Totally. That will get sewn up. But pictures look really funny because it's like this hole at the top. But so travel project.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, super easy to knit. I don't know why I still have these markers in here. I can take those out. Those just slow me down when I'm like knitting on the round.
Yeah.
So
the beginning of the round one, I don't know. I would always keep
that one will stay.
I don't know why you need it though. Really, I mean, you're going to knit it to when you're.
No, I know. So that's
somehow I like to know where the beginning is.
I don't. Yeah, is it really necessary?
Where is the beginning when it's a circle, right? I mean,
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. Doesn't matter.
Right. Oh, it's funny how people are.
I know.
It's funny how I am. Maybe I should.
I won't take the beginning of the round marker out because my brain will.
Right.
It's not there.
What if I did a half a round more?
What?
It's going to throw the whole thing off.
Right. Exactly. I just switched it down to a 16-inch circular. I was doing magic loop,
cord.
And magic loop was actually slowing me down. Trying to do it with this type of size now. So it's besides I needed my 3s to knit my mitts. So
there you go.
Just moving needles around.
Right. Yeah. So, exactly.
Do you have any other whipses that you're working on?
Well, I mean, of course, but not actively working.
On.
There's like
there's a long list here.
Yeah, we can clean up some of that.
I'm gonna clean up some of mine too. This one, the autumn wheat bauble, I frogged it in my project page.
Done.
I'm done. Like, I've tried it too many times with too many different yarns.
These whips are not, I think we can cross off, like, the Whore number 16.
That one says it's going to be frogged.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to reuse that yarn for something else.
Jonquil is going to get reused for something else, because at this point, my child won't fit into the size that I bought the yarn for to make that sweater for her.
The other ones, though, I think, Pinions can definitely, never going to make it. Sorry. Okay. I didn't enjoy that one.
All right.
I didn't like the colors I picked. It was not the pattern, just to be clear. But yeah, the other ones, I just one or two of them are like I need to do 4 things and they'll be done.
Yeah, right. I
might bring them back in eventually.
Cross off the sea glass cardigan casting on right now because that's not going to happen.
Because you have
anytime soon. I've got too many other things in the hopper. Doesn't mean that it's not going to.
If I can make some good progress on my halibut, I will probably pick that back up again and keep going with it. I love that sweater and I'll be really excited to have it done. I just I don't want to get to Rhinebeck with 2 half sweaters.
Right.
I did think to myself, well, if I finish halibut and I get the sea glass cardigan done, the body of it, I can wear it as a vest.
There you go.
And finish the sleeves. So that'll be maybe the tentative plan.
Well, and it's hard to know, like, what's the weather going to be?
I was just going to say, here's my nice wool sweater, and I'll be, like, wearing a tank top, probably.
Right.
So.
We've been there when it snowed.
In which case, I'm good. Like, I finished, like, many T-shirts this year, so.
And we've also been there when it's been boiling hot, and you really just want to be having T-shirts on. So I've got options now of things to wear. So assuming I finish that sleeve. If not, I'll just wear it like that, because that's also a thing.
Well, 3 nights. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you'll finish that.
I know. I got that. I need to do that too.
Yes, I'm gonna
a little cuff thing for a woolen
I'm
affair.
gonna turn them into fingerless mitts because I'm not gonna wear a cuff. I mean, eventually, because I won't wear it. So, woolen affair. If you manage to get tickets for the dinner, which we did. Or maybe it's for the whole thing.
I think it's for the whole thing.
It's for the whole thing.
Yeah.
There's a cuff knitting project that they suggested that people do.
Because they have some sort of little tag that
It lets you in.
That lets you in. That's
Yeah.
going to affix to the cuff.
So I was going to scrounge for scraps
Yep.
in my, because I like these colors.
Those
but
are nice colors.
They're super cute, but and I will probably try to find something that approximates those. I was kind of hoping that it wasn't fingering weight, that it was sport weight, because temperature blanket.
Oh,
I have lots
yeah.
of temperature blanket leftovers. That
You
would
could
work.
make it in sport
So
weight.
I think I probably will, because I have the yarn, and I love the pink that's part of the temperature
Yeah.
blanket. So, and I will have lots of that left over because we might have one or more pink stripes in the September one, but that's going
Yeah.
to be it.
You
There won't
know,
be more.
what I have is I have a whole series of like little skeins
I have some minis too.
of or like 25 gram skeins or maybe 50 gram skeins from the Socks That Rock people.
Mm.
And they used to do kits like they were for fingerless mitts or
Yeah.
things with complementary colors. And I have a ton of those. I don't think I have any pink, but I know I have like a really nice like purple and like a kind of a gray taupe, and I'm pretty sure there's a yellow in there and maybe a green. That's a heavy fingering / sport.
Yeah.
But we all know I'm a tight knitter, so but I like the idea of a fingerless mitt, doing the color work on the cuff and then just continuing up.
cuffs. And then they'll turn into fingerless mitts.
Because
Because then I will wear them.
yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
That's my plan. Whether they're done in time, the whole thing is done. The cuff will be knit. A cuff will be knit before then.
Or at least one mitt we're
Right.
done.
Right. Wonder Twins.
Right? So
that's I'm going to cast that on at some point.
yeah, I gotta do that too.
That might take precedence over those large pads because I'm angry at those right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Find something that makes you happy. So we have
All right, stuff. There is stuff happening.
We have stuff to talk about. We have cows that are going currently. There's the temperature blanket craft along, which I keep saying it's not too late to join. You totally could, though.
You could knit like a placemat. You could do 12 little squares to make a placemat.
Oh, that's actually not a bad idea.
Just
That's
saying.
You could do a temperature placemat.
You could.
Doesn't have to be a blanket.
We would allow that.
Yeah.
Just be if you're creative about how you do it.
You could do a temperature cowl.
What is the average temperature for your town for those for each month, and use that average temperature to do little squares.
You could do a temperature cowl.
Mm-hmm.
1 stripe or 2 stripes per day for something to go. Anyway, be creative. All right, the large peds along.
Let's draw a line. No, I'm just
I locked that thread.
You did.
I did.
Right. Maybe I don't need to make them. I like a challenge. I will get back to those eventually.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to random.org so we can, assuming it loads, this thing has been really slow to load, we can pick a prize. So I brought this. So this is Woolens and Nosh. It is the Into the Mystic yarn. Very pretty.
Was that the show colorway from a couple years ago?
I don't know. It might have been. I don't know.
I'm not sure either. That doesn't sound right, but it looks kind of like that.
A sport weight. So it's her Tarhi nylon base. It's 308 yards for 100 grams. So it's heavy fingering / sport. I would probably call it a sport with that yardage. But like everything that Michelle does, the colors are gorgeous. And you could make another pair of large peds out of this. You could make some fingerless mitts. You could try out that marled November mitts marled pattern. You could do a hat. You could do
Lots of
beautiful things. So because it was a large ped along, I figured I would pick some yarn that was sock appropriate if you wanted to do another pair of socks. So our winner, according to random.org is post number 4. And I was just now going back to the thread so I can tell you who that is. Post number 4 is, God, I cannot read anything today. Audio Ann from Media, Pennsylvania. Congratulations. She knit these really cute larch peds.
Oh, they are cute.
In this pink color with the little gray toes. Super cute. Totally love them. So Audio Ann from Media, Pennsylvania, please get in touch. Probably the easiest way is to just send me a message on Ravelry with your full name and mailing address, and we will get this yarn out to you as a prize winner. So thank you and congratulations. Thank you for playing. I think you actually had a couple of entries in this. She did a couple different pairs of these larch peds. So
I'm so impressed. You got right over that stumbling block that I've encountered. Probably never stumbled at all. Just got right through it.
So yay!
Yay!
Happy knitting, and thank you for participating.
Yeah, thanks to everyone
really
for playing along.
it.
It's always fun when we have a bunch of people doing stuff.
Totally. I enjoyed those socks. I'm probably gonna knit more. I love the fit of those socks.
You can knit the beginning for me.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I can do it.
We have the summer travel along, which is supposed to be closed on September 22nd, but we're not podcasting till October 4th. Do you want me to close it?
It's the end of summer.
Okay, so Jen's gonna close the post on September 22nd.
Or thereabouts.
Lock the post, and we'll draw a prize for that when we're here October 5th or 6th, whenever we're coming back next in early October.
Okay.
We have the sea glass along, which is any of the sea glass patterns. That runs till the end of November, so there's still plenty of time to join because you could knit a hat, you could knit the cowl.
You could knit a whole sweater between now and then.
You probably could. Possibly. Yes, I could. I probably could if I started now, but I got too many other things. We're not going to play that game right now.
Yeah, no, I just meant that you're faster than I am.
And if I get focused, and just do one.
I was very focused, and it didn't take me that long to get from the neck to almost dividing for the sleeves.
And then we're gonna
have to get back into it again.
Come up with another. I think Jen and I will brainstorm, and we'll come up with something new.
Fall appropriate.
When we yarn cast next. That will probably take us through the end of the year, because we like to do some sort of holiday craft along, or we might add a couple different ones with different sort of themes that will run between now and the end of the year. So if you have suggestions
all kinds of things
or thoughts,
sometimes there's a bigger one and then some smaller things that we do, because that way people can post their gift making exercises. We could do Christmas stockings.
We could. That's a very specific one though.
Yes, you're right.
So,
holiday of your choice.
Anyway, we'll brainstorm a little bit. If you guys have any ideas or things that you would love to do,
what's in your queue for the next 3 months?
Yeah, let us know. Because otherwise, I'm just going to suggest things that I want to make, and then I'll pull you along for the ride. And if that works for some of you folks, totally fine. We'll just keep doing that. Because what's going to happen. I'm going to come back from New York Sheep and Wool, or even Vermont Sheep and Wool, and because you just so many things, and so many vendors, and so many new stuff, and samples, and this and that, and I'm
speaking of which, so we don't have any events here because there are so many events elsewhere, and so obviously Vermont Sheep and Wool is the first weekend in October. I very seldom can make it down there because I work on that Sunday here at the store, but we'll see what happens.
I'm going to try to go down on Saturday, I think, because I think we're going to, oops, I just kicked the tripod again. I got to stop doing that. It's the second time in a row I've kicked the tripod recently.
Hold on to your hats.
Right? Ooh, earthquake. I think we're gonna try to yarn cast on that Sunday, which is when a lot of times I'll go down. But I think I have a more open Saturday, so I might try to scoot down there, or I might just not make it down this year again. Which is
it doesn't
also
seem
what happens.
complicated, but it's a solid 2-hour drive each way from here, so it's not that's not a ton, but it's enough to make it
enough to make it.
It's your whole day, which is completely fine. Obviously, 2 weeks later we do Rhinebeck, and it's 3 to 4 days. So, but that's so we'll see. So
I'm on the fence. I'm a maybe, though I think going back through my mental Rolodex, I feel like there's maybe something on that Saturday that I'm forgetting. I
know, that's why I'm hesitating as well. But I will say this. So Ariana, our store manager, will be there in Designer Alley. I think she's sharing a booth with patterns with one of our store customers who also designs patterns. Awesome. She did the that lacy Ariel little sweater that we showed a few months ago. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're sharing a booth there. So if you go, check them out, say hello, introduce yourselves.
Awesome.
Ariana is Pearlwise Designs, and Tamara is Starcraft Knits, I want to say.
We'll link to those again.
And speaking of Ariana, she also has a pattern being published in Tanis Gray's new book.
Yes.
When she's not only it's being published, but it's on the cover. Which
so exciting.
Which is
amazing.
So we're so excited to be adjacent to her and her stardom.
And we'll have copies of that book in store when it's fully released.
Yeah. That's super exciting. And then a few weeks later, obviously, is New York Sheep and Wool, Rhinebeck.
Yep. We'll be down for that weekend.
We'll be there Friday for Wool and Affair and Indie Untangled, and then Saturday and Sunday at the fairgrounds.
Yep.
Doing whatever. Hopefully, we'll see you all. Don't forget, 3 o'clock. Oh, you won't have heard this yet. Because we decided in the outtakes.
3 o'clock, we're going to do an MLY meetup on the hill. Right. Separate and independent from the podcaster meetup that happens.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Do it a little later.
Yeah.
People can just hang out. Usually by that time, folks are kind of, I think, feeling like
bring your stuff. Hopefully you have a little knitting project with you you've been dragging around all day.
Yeah.
And
like something like this. A little hat.
Do a little knitting, a little chit chat.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll be good.
Yeah.
Good.
It'll be fun.
So we'll see. If it's raining or there's inclement weather, we will figure something else out. So I think watch social media if the weather's
we'll post on Instagram if
rainy or something weird's happening on that Saturday.
Have to move across to the where those bleachers are.
Yeah, where it's like covered, a little more covered. Yeah. So actually let's just say that if it's rainy or it's miserable
rain.
Standing out in an opening directly down the hill across the pavement, there's a set of like picnic tables that's undercover. We will
bleacher things. You'll know where they are. They're sort of on the bottom side of Building E.
Yeah, we will convene over there if the weather is inclement.
Yeah, Building E, the side of Building E that faces the hill.
Yep. Yeah.
And if you're brand new to Rhinebeck, the hill is sort of the grassy area in the middle.
Next to where they do the dog.
Between like gates.
Yeah.
F and the other.
It might be called the hill on the map.
Maybe. But there's all kinds of events that they have there, but it's sort of the green.
And it is actually a hill. It's a grassy hill.
It's kind of flat and then it slopes down.
If you're unsure, send one of us a message and we can like circle it on the map for you and show you where we
maybe in some of the the social media postings that we do.
We're gonna be like,
a little
right
map.
Here. Yeah.
Because I love to do a little map.
Yes. Perfect.
A little graphic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So mark your calendars now. Don't forget.
Exactly. So we'll see all of you in about 3 weeks. I've got some stuff on Sundays that that are coordination with other people, so it wasn't just me setting the schedule. Some things coming up for PTO and kids and stuff that's gonna pull me away on Sundays. So we're gonna be out until the first week in October. So,
which means really you won't see it till the second week in October, but that's okay.
No, it'll be the end of that.
Yeah.
Kind of the end of that week. So the 11th or whatever that is.
Yeah.
It won't post
That's
till
fine.
October 11th.
Yeah.
So
that's fine.
it's the way it goes.
Right. It'll be the pre-Rhinebeck.
Pre-Rhinebeck,
Yes.
chitter chatter.
And then we'll have post game show.
And then it'll be probably 3 weeks again. And we'll be back here right after we get back from Rhinebeck to see how well I do with my self-imposed don't buy stuff or don't buy too much stuff. I've been better, I feel like, the last couple of years.
Targeted.
More targeted with my purchases instead of it being a complete free-for-all.
It is reminding me of stuff I bought last year that...
It's reminding me of stuff I bought
2 years ago.
6 years ago and still haven't used.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually there's a pile. Yeah. Right.
I'm thinking of one particular sweater kit
from
the Fuse that was just...
I thought you broke that apart.
I did not yet. A moment of weakness. I was going to, and then I came up with another
And just
plan.
for the record, I was meant to be the brakes on things that weekend, and I did my job.
She just said once, don't do it, and then walked away with kind of muttering under her breath, do whatever you want. So.
That's not how I remember it. But I also, don't want to stand between a woman and her yarn. So.
And really, I was kind of kidding when I was like, tell me I can't buy this, because I was going to buy it anyway. So, she could either have enabled me or could have maybe just been like, well, I'm buying it anyway. So, the result was going to be the same, no matter what.
Yeah. True. I can read the handwriting on the wall.
True story. Yeah. And I don't really know why I was so enamored with that particular
It was pretty.
yarn. I'm not going to knit the pattern. But the sweater was gorgeous. But the more I think about it, it was like one with like stars and all this
that
stuff.
constellation sweater.
Constellations. And it's too busy.
Yeah.
For what I would normally wear.
Yeah.
But I bought the yarn.
I think the fumes were getting to us at that point.
No, I think
it had been
really
a long
were.
day.
I think that sweater would make a really lovely like garden gate, like a long sleeve like garden gate.
Oh yeah.
Because it's a
Black.
charcoal
black
with like this really lovely gold kind of color.
Yeah. It would make a beautiful any one of those yoke kind of sweaters that have.
Yeah. I just have to figure out which one it's going to be.
Yeah.
So that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I have that.
Yeah.
So we'll see what kind of trouble I can get myself into.
And I go every year saying I don't need any yarn. I'm not
and then
buying
she
anything.
buys some yarn.
Yep.
Yeah.
More than some.
Yeah, more than some. I need to go with I think I do better when I have like a list or things that I want to look for, but I also try to be flexible because you might see something new that you
one-off.
like.
Yeah, or a one-off that you're never going to see again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went specifically last year, and it did work pretty well. I was pretty good, but I still have a sweater's quantity of Cece's wool to knit a sweater.
I have that. I also, I didn't.
No.
I just got some smaller stuff from Cece's wool last year.
Remember, I bought the show colorway.
Yes, that's true. You did.
It's blue and green.
I have 3 gnome felting kits that I have used 0 of. And will I go back to that booth again this year? Yes, I will. Will I look at it again and be like, maybe I should buy another one? Yes, I will. Because I have grand plans for felting, making felted creatures and things. Actually, that's what I bought from Cece's, was that gnome one that she did.
Oh.
In conjunction with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway.
And the little skeins.
And the little skeins, which I did use because that went into my Birkin sweater.
That's right.
So.
I'm using the yarn from 2 years ago in my sea glass, so there's that.
Right. Anyway,
it gets used. It
gets
feels
used
excessive sometimes.
In time.
Right.
We come up with plans for things.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right.
Always.
Well, it is probably time for us to close this off.
I think so.
And get cleaned up and get on with our days.
Yep.
So,
drive to Ogdensburg.
I got good stuff to do this afternoon.
Hot spot of New York State.
Baseball.
I shouldn't say that, but
right. Yes. So thanks for stopping by, hanging out with us. We appreciate it. We know there's tons of options out there. And so we appreciate all of you that take the time to listen to us and come see what we're up to. So thank you. We hope to see some of you at some of these festivals coming up.
Yeah. That'd be good.
And happy crafting wherever you are.
Absolutely.
So,
all right.
See you soon.
See ya.
Bye. When I was measuring the armholes, I was like, are those gonna fit? And they're snug. I mean, it's not uncomfortable snug, but
they
it's
don't
definitely,
gape, which I don't like.
they
the
don't
gaping
gape
is,
at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah, and I can't. It's always a fine line between like just a little too like you feel like it's rubbing all day versus, oh look, see everything I'm wearing down to my waist.
Right.
I feel like those are the two choices. There's nothing in between,
No.
which is really irritating.
Exactly.
Unless you do like this one has this little sleeve thing,
Yeah.
which is enough to,
Yeah.
even though it's loose and it
Yeah.
it doesn't. Because I like things to be loose, but I don't like them to.
Well, I like them to be snug in certain places and loose in other places.
Right.
Right. If only I could control the sizing of my garment. No, just kidding.
Right.
Right. So I can't believe it's only been 2 weeks since we were here last. It feels like it's been...
Feels like it was longer than the time we were gone a month.
Right, but also shorter because I'm looking at what I've done and accomplished, and I'm like,
lack thereof on this side of my table.
Wow. Wow, it's only been 2 weeks. The weather, because we love to talk about the weather here, has been, frankly, all over the place. Last week at this time, it was cold. It was in like
forgot
the
because
50s,
it's been so beautiful for the last 4 days.
Like really low 50s, high 40s,
right.
and windy.
Labor Day was cold. Yeah.
Because I was out at a baseball game, and today it's going to be boiling, roasting hot, and humid, and really stupid again. So I
think it's going to be kind of dry. It's been dry.
It was not dry yesterday.
Oh, really?
Nope.
I guess that's true. It did.
90% humidity yesterday.
I had a very low-key, do-nothing sort of day. I didn't do any knitting, unfortunately. I could have.
I walked out of the grocery store yesterday and almost died. Like, I walked out and was like, oh, get rid. What happened? I was only in there for like half an hour.
Yeah, the kitty had a very rough week, and so
oh, poor Bumble.
Yeah, he's all right, but he's fine now, but he spent the whole day at the vet getting IV fluids on Friday, so to make up for being sick all week. And so it was, which is fine. It's a drag on him, but it's also a
drag on you.
Drag on his owner. Yeah. So I was sort of laying low with him yesterday. Yeah, well.
Poor guy.
Yeah. Chemo, it's not fun for anyone, and he's a pet, not a human, so
they can't tell you. Like,
I just meant like it's probably worse for humans than it is for him, but at least with humans you do understand how they're feeling.
Right, they can tell you this hurts or that hurts.
Yeah, although now I'm pretty good at reading his body language, but so we shall see. The oncologist is on vacation, so they were very good about. But I will tell you also, not inexpensive, this.
Oh, no.
This thing.
No, having a dog that had to spend overnight at the emergency vet, and that was just
mind-boggling. And it's not that I don't think it's worth it or that I don't begrudge them getting paid, but they need to get paid. It's just like when you go to pay the bill, you're like,
right. Well, I mean, it's basically health care for your animal, which a lot of us have not transitioned over to having insurance.
Well, no, and because most of the time, and I think
fine.
Going forward, and now it's too late, obviously.
Right.
I didn't have it before he got sick, and he got sick in like 24 hours, so there was no
time to go secure it.
to secure it and have it not be a pre-existing condition.
Right.
But
it
is one of those things where I might, because they can identify stuff so easily now, because they have the technology and all of that, I think with my next pets, I'll maybe think about it. I always was like, oh, how much could it be? Well, as it turns out.
A lot.
Yes, and I am very grateful that I have the means to take care of him, but it's, and I didn't have to make that hard choice yet, but we'll see. Anyway, it was a long week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. At least I was home, as always. I do have travel coming up for the next couple of weeks, so I'm starting today, as a matter of fact. But he's fine today, so.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the harder thing when you have a sick animal. Is
Yes,
to travel.
traveling and having to be away.
Yes, but I think we're not going to treat him until I get back, which
that probably makes sense, right? So,
we'll see what she says next week. But yeah. Anyway, that was my day yesterday.
so we are all back all in with like fall sports stuff, and
whereas I'm still in summer mode because
it's not. Worse.
Other than the traffic.
Summer's over.
Other than the traffic and everything else, and the people around me whose children have all gone back to school. The weather's nice. It's summer still, It's, but it is dark.
I mean, it's only summer because I'm still drinking margaritas. But anyway, yeah.
And it is, the days are so much shorter.
They are noticeably shorter.
It's really odd to me that from June or whenever it is, June 15th or 20th or whatever it is, that from there to September, like we lose like 4 hours of daylight, I think maybe.
Yeah, but at both ends.
Yes, at both ends, because it's dark when I get up in the morning now, and it's dark at dinner time now, and it's just, it goes like all through August. You can sort of, that it's coming, but it's not, and then suddenly in like the first week of September, it's like wow.
Boom. Yeah.
I guess 3 or 4 minutes a day on either end adds up fast.
And then we're gonna hit October, and we're gonna
November.
Back. Is it November this year?
It's always November now. It's
okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I can't
first weekend in November. It doesn't even matter at that point.
No.
In my opinion.
No.
There's daylight, and it doesn't help the morning, which is when I want it to be a little bit lighter because I walk in the mornings. So it's not quite dark, but I have pulled out the orange fluorescent.
Also good because we're headed into hunting season and stuff, so you want to make sure that people can see you.
Yeah.
That you're not a bear or deer or whatever.
Especially since I wear, green and blue and gray.
Right.
Outerwear.
Totally.
Right. Oh, look, a tree is moving down the street. Right. I guess I have to knit myself some bright orange. Well, I have an orange hat that's not knit, but maybe. Or one of those glow-in-the-dark ones. I haven't done that yet. I always threatened for years, but, it's just never quite enough time.
Right.
To do all the things. And this week I was not very knitty. I didn't feel like knitting this week. I don't know why.
I've switched over to
not much over here.
Bunch of like little projects.
Which is good.
I have like a series of on-the-go projects right now.
Well, A, you're moving around, and B, it's easier.
Yeah. I sometimes like when I finish something like this, I want to have like a series of instant gratification because this like took so long. I mean, it didn't really take that. I mean, it's a bigger chunk of knitting, and so I feel like I want to do a bunch of smaller stuff. So then I'm like, look, I did all these things, and then I will flip back over to do some sweaters. Apparently, I have 2 tessellated vests to knit at this point, so. I think that's next up.
That is a choice.
It is a choice, 100%. So I need to get those started.
And there's a time frame, so it's not like you're just knitting them for fun sometime between now and whenever.
I know.
You like those deadlines.
I have consistently over the years overestimated how much knitting time I have and what I can get done in the knitting time that I have. So
I think that's right up there with like buying yarn, using yarn, all the knitting tropes.
Hope springs eternal.
Yeah, the trickier thing is since you're doing this matchy thing, it would be a shame to get one done and not the other, and then have to like knit 2 small things to like compensate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. Yes. I will probably do them one at a time instead of doing, because the other option is to do them. In conjunction, like the Yarn Harlot knits socks so she'll do like 5 rounds on one and then she'll switch over to the other and do 5 rounds on the other. So instead of doing 2 at a time, like they're going at the same time. So that's one option. I think for me, if I knit something once, I'm working out all the kinks and understanding the pattern. And so the second time I knit something, it feels way faster because all
But
of like
is it
the
fast? It feels faster, but is
I think
it
it is
It's a little
faster.
faster, but will it be faster enough? Is my
I don't know. We'll
right?
see.
We'll see.
I don't know. I think
You can decide like a month away from your deadline. You can be like, so.
well, any deadline's really like self-imposed anyway.
Oh, I thought there was a time.
No, I mean,
banquet or
I
something.
had suggested that I would get them done before the season started, and then I was like, well, maybe by the end of the year.
Oh, all right.
So
That's better.
Yeah,
I thought there was like a hard and fast
No.
like event thing where they needed to be done.
no,
For. Okay.
no. Ideally, I would like to get them done prior to the basketball season starting, which is like right after Thanksgiving break.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll see. I want to cast one on pretty soon, like maybe today.
It's not a long net.
No, it feels like it's potato chippy enough for me because you're changing yarns and you're changing colors and you're doing like enough of that I think my brain would be like, ooh, this is fun. And then
It
like,
is fun.
And
yeah.
you just all of a sudden you're like, oh, look, I can split for the armholes because how did I get here? Those kind of patterns, I feel like I knit them faster because like this, I get bored with the stockinette at a certain point. I'm just
I think
like,
that's what happened to me this week. I do have 4 hours in the car, and my colleague did offer to drive today, so that'll be good. So we'll see.
So you can get some knitting time in the car,
Yes,
perhaps.
maybe until it gets dark, right?
See, you need one of those luminos. Do you have one?
I have one.
Luminos? Oh, okay.
I just think it might be weird.
Well,
For him. No, he knows.
at some point you just give into it, and you're like, you know what?
Sorry,
It's
buddy.
just I
Hopefully
want
this
to work.
is not distracting you.
I want to
while
work
you're
on this, and
I probably should charge it this afternoon before I go.
yeah, it's probably a good plan. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what else I've done the last couple weeks. It's I feel like it's been pretty cat centric, and we had our little office summer, or let's call it end of summer gathering on Friday afternoon, which was nice because the weather was beautiful.
It was nice on Friday.
Airport Park in Colchester, which I haven't been to. My parents lived in Colchester for a while, and so did I. But I don't go out there very much anymore, and so it was kind of fun to drive through town. And
Nice.
it's a nice part of Lake Champlain. It's right on the water, and there's, boats and everything. But it's always one of those funny things where it's like there's parts of Lake Champlain. I mean, they're all beautiful, but there are some that are more developed than others, and more current development than others. And this is not one of those. So it's kind of funny to me. Like I feel like, I'm surprised it's not more, whatever. But it was nice to drive through there and spend some time with our people. Very low key sort of thing. But
Awesome.
It was fun afternoon.
Nice.
Yeah. I can't remember if I've done anything else. My sister got a kitty, a baby.
Oh.
Yes, he's adorable. Actually, I should say maybe my niece got a cat, I think, maybe.
Your sister got a cat.
Right, exactly, right. Although my niece has really been pretty gung-ho about taking care of him.
That's true, but she's how many years away from
I know,
headed out to college, so
two.
your sister got a cat.
I know.
Yeah.
Which is fine because my sister is a cat person. / dog person. So anyway, it'll be fine. He's adorable. He's a little gray tiger kitty. He's very sweet. Very, very small.
Is he floofy?
He is a little floofy, kind of. His name is Georgie.
Georgie. That's a good cat name.
Yes, they were in the Homeward Bound post this week. They post all the people who've adopted their. It's my favorite thing. I look at it just to see, do they match? Like, how pets and their owners are supposed to match. I looking at it to see. It's harder with cats than it is with dogs, I think. Dogs are more matchy.
I'm trying to figure out what that says about my household because my dog is extra special. So I suppose it matches. Like, just
chaos.
Wow.
Yeah, well, you don't always know the temperament. I think sometimes it's more the aesthetic. Yeah.
I mean, I guess she's long and lean and definitely my
the blonde
husband
though doesn't quite.
No,
you guys are dark haired.
Really?
Yeah. It's all right. I don't look like an orange tabby cat, so
nobody wants a chocolate. Yeah. Your lap.
Right. Yeah. Yes, they're very sweet dogs, though.
She is sweet. She's, neurotic and like has some anxiety challenges, but she is sweet. So there's that. The joke at the house with her is that she's malfunctioning. So I'm always like, your dog's malfunctioning. My husband. Reset. He's like, I gotta reset her.
That's funny. Yeah, other than that, I think it's only been 2 weeks.
I know.
Quiet.
I know.
The next 2 weeks, though, this weird little business trip to the far reaches of New York State, Ogdensburg.
Yeah.
It's way up there.
So we were just looking at our calendar, and we're not entirely sure we're gonna connect again because 2 weeks, I'm busy, and then the week after that is Vermont Sheep and Wool.
I'll be here.
You'll be here, so maybe I'll try to plan my schedule and go on Saturday, so then we can do this on that Sunday, that first week in October.
And then 2 weeks from that is Rhinebeck.
And then 2 weeks from that we'll be away from Rhinebeck, so we probably would do the week after when we came back.
Yeah, we have had this sort of tentative plan to do a meetup at Rhinebeck.
Yes.
And so we haven't organized that yet, but it's still in the plan. So
yes.
I was thinking, mid-afternoon on Saturday. We'll just see what else is going on.
Do we
the hill.
do it independent of the podcaster meetup? Do we do it after that, like separately? I think.
Yeah, maybe.
So people can do both or whatever.
Yeah. I guess we could do both technically.
Like 2 or 3 o'clock, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I can't remember what time the things are.
So we'll probably do like 2:30, right? Because whenever Jen and I like somewhere between this time and this time, or like how about right in the middle? I don't know. 3 o'clock sounds good because it just people have enough time to do all the other things. And, all right, so we'll just make it 3 o'clock, and then
put some notes out there on the social media.
Yep, for Saturday on the hill.
By the exotic animal cages. No, just kidding.
Yeah, it's where they do all of the other stuff.
Across from the bandstand seating.
And then Jen and I can decide if we go to the podcaster meetup or not. We've kind of skipped it the last couple of years.
1 year it was raining. And then 1 year I think we were tired and went home early. I don't quite remember.
Or we were distracted. I think we were eating or doing something else. And we were just like, whatever.
Yeah.
So we'll do a MLY specific meetup 3 o'clock on that Saturday. And then maybe we can skip podcaster meetup because we're doing our own at 3. We'll see.
If we're bored, we can wander. Not that we don't want to go there. We could.
No, we could.
Yeah.
We could.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I know.
It's fine. I'd prefer to just see the people who are connected to us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So we'll do it at 3, and we'll, like we always say, we'll be around that weekend. We're going to Indie Untangled. We're going to a Wool and a Fair. So if you see us those other places, or just walking around the fairgrounds, like,
and if
stop
you're
us.
going to dinner at Wool and a Fair and have room in your car, let us know.
Yeah, we should talk about that offline.
Okay.
I have a couple thoughts.
Okay.
So
I have several as well.
Okay.
But
All
just
right.
in case, somewhere out there in the universe.
And we have parking for the morning one.
Yeah, so we have spots.
So
we
might have more spots. Just we'll have somewhere between 2 and 4 spots in a vehicle. So we'll talk offline.
I guess
about why that's a thing. So I'm on the Discord app. I've been following. I figured there'll be a lot more activity once it gets closer. Like, people haven't started planning yet. And at some point I will post out there that we have parking for seats for the morning, and I'll be looking for the party. Once I wanted to check with Jen first, because 2 of us are going together, so I didn't want to just volunteer us for something.
That's fine.
So I figured
that's fine.
All right. So 3 o'clock Saturday on the hill. I'll add it to our notes in here, so you guys can keep seeing it. But we'll do some social media stuff about it and talk about it the next time on the podcast too, Youngcast.
We might only have one, it sounds like.
Yeah, I think we're gonna only have one.
Sounds funny.
So
I guess I gotta start knitting.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah, exactly.
It always comes up. It always seems like it's like way far away.
And then
because you're forced to make all your like travel,
Right.
whatever hotel,
Right.
rent
So
a
far in
place, and
advance.
buy tickets for this, that, and the other thing
Yeah.
like 18 years ahead of time,
Yes.
and then suddenly,
Yes. And
suddenly you're
it's
like, wait, what?
boop, here.
Huh.
All right.
All right.
We should
Yes,
do this.
we should.